I am so freaking pissed. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Gladiators Tribe, and more specifically to Gladiators on Tour from 0 to ATP player. And as you might know from the previous episodes of this series, this is the 5th one-day tournament that I'm gonna be playing, and that means that if I take this title, I'll be taking home the huge trophy that this whole series has been about so far. And once we do that, we can finally move forward with our journey into the next step, which is playing the big boy tournament. But I'm guessing right now you're asking, why was I so pissed in the intro of this video? And you will find out about it in the end of the video. But right now, let's flash back to the day of the tournament.
What's up, Glads? It was a way easier wake up considering that my match starts at 2 p.m. this time instead of like 9 a.m. So that's one good thing, but whatever time it starts, that doesn't matter because this is the fifth tournament that we have to win in order to get ourselves that mega trophy. Guys, this is the day, hopefully, when we finally make this happen. And yeah, here's a quick sneak peek of an upcoming potential bracket review. Oh, and by the way, Albert is also going to be coming on, the guy who is planning to start from absolutely zero without any experience of playing tennis whatsoever and try to win one of these tournaments that I'm playing right now. And most of you guys said that it's impossible to do it in a year, so he got really pumped up, and I think he's actually going to go for the challenge. But yeah, let's get packed up.
All right, lads, we've arrived to the club. Here's Albert, by the way. Albert,
Hey, how
are you ready for the challenge?
Yeah.
Are you doing it?
Always ready. Always ready. Yeah,
Done.
we're doing for sure.
When are you playing your first tournament?
Very soon.
Very
Soon.
Guys, this is gonna be epic. He's gonna play his first tournament without actually practicing first, just to see what happens, and then it's gonna start.
I went to pay the 31 euros for the inscription, and yes, it actually went up €1 from last year, which is not that much, but if you add up the 5 tournaments that I've played, that brings it up to like 150 euros, which is, you know, not nothing. Anyways, after doing that, we fed the goose that was just casually chilling in the club, and then it was time to head out to the first match.
I'm actually going to try to record this match with Swing Vision to make my life a little easier when it comes to editing. Hopefully everything goes well.
Alright, lads, so first match it is, and actually I'll be playing against a guy who I've played in the final of the first ever tournament that I've played in this series, and the guy actually did make me struggle quite a bit. So I was preparing to not have a warm-up match and just get straight to the business. So guys, as you can see, the swing vision thing actually worked, so you're gonna be getting some extra stats as we play, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Anyways, who were we facing here? A young and pretty talented player who has all the shots, is pretty competitive, and is actually pretty tough mentally. This was his first match, and I knew that he'd be rusty, so I had to make sure that I used that to end with this match as quickly as possible. And although he was rather rusty, I felt that, realized that this match might be way easier than the first time we played, and really lost focus, making it a pretty close match from the beginning of it. However, although I was losing quite a few points and the match was looking rather close, I was pretty confident I would win this, and I was pretty relaxed and enjoying playing the match, which might or might have not stretched it and took it where I was never expecting it to end up. And although I did take the first set rather easily, the second set turned out to be a whole different story. I started by losing the first game from deuce, and then took it to yet another deuce, this time on my serve, and after saving a few break points, I ended up giving him the break anyways. I knew I had to get my things back together, and so I lowered the level of irresponsibility during the points, cut down the risks, and focused on winning points rather than winning highlights for you, lads. And that helped me get one game, which conveniently turned out to also be a break. Okay, listen, I have no explanation to why I'm currently 3-1 down and he's serving for the set, and that's the first round of a one-day tournament, but I'll figure it out, I promise. And just like that, I made it to 40 love, but every time I get to a 40 love in these matches, I just can't help myself from being ridiculously stupid. So, there you have it. But anyways, just like that, we're 3-2, still down, but we're also 40 love up to making it 3-all. So I decided to play it safe with no risky moves, and that didn't turn out great. In fact, something rather obvious, but something that seems to be missed out by most of us tennis players, is that if your strategy and style of play is working against this specific opponent, don't freaking switch it during the most important points. Don't be weak and stick to what has been working so far. Don't let your thoughts and emotions ruin your game. That was exactly what I did, and that brought me to a 4-3 up and eventually to a match point. And just like that, we took it.
Alright guys, so I'm done with the match. Gonna have something to eat now. Although I only have like half an hour, so I shouldn't be filling myself up too much. But while I'm doing that, here's the stuff I got from Swing Vision, which is really freaking cool, because this thing just tells you all you need to know about the match, pretty much. The speed of the shots, for example, I guess it's not like the most important thing to really care about, but like then the stats that it shows, it's just crazy. And yeah, Glads, honestly, I've been so freaking impressed by Swing Vision in these last few days of me testing it, because first of all, it's just like the filming of the points itself, it's so much easier because first of all it turns off the screen so it doesn't, you know, waste the battery, and then the things that it keeps track of is actually crazy.
Glad Swing Vision is actually a really awesome app that I'm truly enjoying right now, and if you want to try it for yourself, if you use the link down in the description below to subscribe to the subscription, you will also get a free Swing Vision stick, which is actually a pretty useful way of hanging up your iPhone to actually film yourself. But right now, it's time to have something to eat.
Alright guys, there you go. Pizza it is, I guess. I guess if I eat half a pizza, I'm not gonna vomit it, hopefully, in the next match, but yeah.
I can eat it, bro.
You can eat it?
I can eat it, bro. I can finish it.
Alright Glads, half an hour break is done. Had some pizza. Headed to the courts now and playing the second seed now. Played the third seed in the previous round, and now I'm playing the second seed. And if I win, I'm most likely going to play the first seed. Which on one hand means like I'm getting all the seeded players, which means they're all good in comparison to this tournament, which is bad. But then what's good about it is that if I win them all, I'll get more points. So yeah, entering the court now. And the courts here are beautiful. Love this club. Anyways, I'll see you in the match.
That's right, Glads, we're playing the second seed, and this turned out to be a pretty solid match. But before we get into it, Glads, if you got your eyes on my awesome RF bag, or if you want to get yourself absolutely anything else tennis related, you know where to get it. The link to get it is going to be down in the description below, together with our exclusive discount code that's going to save you some cash, and it also helps the channel. But right now, excuse me, because I have to get ready for the match. The guy who's playing was once again a very young guy, but had some really good tennis. We started the first point off very solid with a super lucky net drop shot, and then quickly got ourselves a 40-15 advantage. By the way, I wanted to discuss something with you guys. Some of you Glads are asking me whether playing and competing in these tournaments of lower level than before and playing against players of lower level was hurting my confidence and my tennis for the upcoming tournaments. And the answer to that is no. Well, first of all, I don't really have a choice to play other tournaments simply because this is the quickest way of me getting the points and the ranking to be able to be seated in the higher level tournaments and even be able to play the high ranked national main draws in the first place. But as a bonus, as long as I'm truly competing, setting the goals for myself, completing them and winning, my confidence is going to be going up instead of going down. The logical question here, of course, is, okay, Grisha, so you say as long as you win, but what happens if you lose? Wait, hold on, this is actually a really cool point. You like that? And that's on a game point too. Anyways, first of all, that's not gonna happen. I'm joking, I'm not that cocky, alright? But even if I did lose, I'd lose in a harsh battle against a guy who might be younger than me, but on that day plays better than me. And that can totally happen. It won't mean that I can't pass rounds in an ITF tournament, but just mean that on that day, this guy outplayed me. And that's just what tennis is, alright? So yeah, guys, for those of you glads who are scared to play against a way younger player or against someone who should be way worse than you on paper, remember, this is tennis. Anything can happen on court, and as I like to say, anyone you end up on court with can beat you, but that also means the opposite. So yeah, next time you're worried about playing a younger or weaker guy, just let go of the thought of losing, focus on playing the match, and you'll have way more chances to win. And we got the set, and started the first point of the second set with a screw up. But that's okay, I can totally allow myself that stupid mistake right now. As we're advancing through the games, I'm getting more and more warmed up, and shots are starting to rise in pace. What's surprising is that the guys actually hold up pretty well and managing to keep that pace up. What's clearly calming me down in this situation is the fact that I know that although he is keeping up with this pace, he's not used to it, and as long as I play at my comfortable rhythm, it's going to be damaging enough for him to make a forced error or drop an easy enough ball for me to be able to just finish it with a winner. And as long as he doesn't come up with some crazy strategy or starts risking and actually putting balls in, there should be nothing to be worried about. As it often happens to me though, and just like it happened in the previous match, I started doing some stupidly risky plays that ended up complicating the match for quite a bit. Wouldn't say everything was going super smoothly, but the games were gradually adding up in my favor, and even after losing a game on my serve, we were still 3-2 up and returning. And then came this really long point, which could have been the turning point of the match, which, as we all know, long 1 points are worth just so much more on the mental scoreboard than a winner or a double fault or even an ace. And I took it, but then went back to being stupid. That stupidity caused me to eventually get to the game point, which I had to urgently save, but I managed to pull through and he finished the match with a double fault.
Finished the match. Turns out the guy I played is one of the glads. He subscribed to the channel, which is cool. Playing the final now in a bit. Actually, this match got me a little bit tired, to be fully honest with you, because I had to run quite a bit because the guy was actually, you know, playing some good shots, but yeah.
But I always like it. So easy, this sport. I can just... 1 year, I think it's too much.
1 year is too much?
Too much,
1
too
week
much.
will do?
No, 1 week it's less. Like maybe formats? Nah, man.
Cocky. All right, lads, a quick coffee and a quick isotonic before the next match, which is the final, which means that if I win this match now, we got the trophy, guys. I'm a little bit tired actually, and hopefully it's not gonna be a pain in the ass match, but we'll see. Wish me luck.
Glads, you heard that right. We took this match and we're in the final, which means that if we win this next match, we're gonna be done with our first goal of winning 5 of these small national tournaments, taking that trophy, finally setting it up in the studio as a proof of completing the first step on the way to becoming an ATP Pro. And Glads, if you don't want to miss any of the future videos in this series or on the channel in general, and if you're enjoying this video so far, feel absolutely free to hit that like button if you're enjoying it, and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you're enjoying it a lot and don't want to miss any of the future uploads. Or don't, and be like the 88% of people watching these videos not subscribed. Okay, I'm just kidding. No pressure. But yes, now let's get ready for the match. As you can tell, it was starting to get dark, and I was actually very cold playing the match at first. I wanted to get over with this as soon as possible, and plus I was super freaking angry. And you know what I noticed? There's like 2 types of anger. One that is destructive and the other one which is actually productive. And this is true in life, but it's particularly true in tennis. And the truth is that it's up to you to decide which type of anger gets you. Or maybe I should rephrase it actually. The anger is always the same, but where and how you direct it can either end up being destructive and obstructive or productive. And obviously the easy way out of this whole thing is to just say, always direct the anger to the good and make it productive. But we all know that that's not how it really is, because the truth is that making good from your anger is way harder and requires way more character than just letting it out in a distractive way, because that's easy. Anyone can just burn out, explode, and just piss on everyone who's around them. You know, the typical situation where you're playing a match and none of your shots are going in, and so you're just starting to go crazy, throwing rackets around and just exploding. Well, if you feel like you're the victim in the situation and think that there's no way around it, that means you pick the easy way out of your anger, because this is just the easiest way of showing people around you, your opponent, and most importantly yourself, that that's not how I usually play. I can do much better than this, and usually I'm serving like 250 kilometers an hour serves that are always going on the line, and today's just my bad day. Well, guess what? You'll have a good day 5 times out of 100, and the other 95 days you'll have to fight through, or you're not making it into the ATP. And the gladiator way out of the situation would be to make that anger fuel your feet, give you an extra breath of air, and add 10 kilometers an hour to your serve. And that would not just be the right way out of the situation, but also the right way of proving to everyone that you usually play better than this. And right now you're probably wondering, okay Grish, but what is this whole speech all about? It's not like you're losing the match, getting angry, and you have to learn to direct that anger in the right direction. You just won the first set for love. Well, yeah, but as I said, I was angry from the beginning of the match, and the anger was actually fading away as the match was progressing. My anger had nothing to do with the match itself, but rather with what happened a few minutes before we started. And I decided to share this monologue about anger with you guys simply because I felt like I managed to do exactly that. Direct my anger in the right direction, fueling my tennis instead of picking it apart. Because I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but I'm not making a single stupid decision. I'm holding my focus. The amount of unforced errors is close to 0, and the amount of winners is growing fast. And keep in mind that this is the first seed, and level-wise it seemed like he was actually the best player in the draw. So as I'm playing this match and winning pretty much all of the points, I'm realizing that like 30 minutes ago I was so pissed I was about to walk away from the match, and I was tired and had no desire to play it, but I decided that I'd play it and win it, and in the end managed to do this being super angry. And that is when the whole thing about anger occurred to me, because this is the first time I actually managed to direct it for the better in such an efficient way. But let's get done with this match, because we can all see where it's going, and let me explain why I was so angry in the beginning of the match in the first place.
Alright lads, listen up. No, the light here is shit, hold on. Alright lads, listen up. So basically, this is insane. Because turns out, in order to win our magical trophy, like the massive one, you have to win 5 tournaments in 1 year, which is something that nobody has told me. And I had no idea. In fact, I asked that, like whether it's in a year or whatever. No, not me, someone else asked that to a referee. He was like, no, you just need to win 5. And so we're just leaving with this medal, with the 5th one. And I don't know what to do. or do I? Back to the studio.
So yes, Glads, that's exactly what happened. 10 minutes before starting this final, which was supposedly giving me the trophy that we've been dreaming of for these last few weeks, the referee tells me that I don't just have to win 5 of these tournaments, but I have to do it in a single year. And the worst thing about it is that I actually didn't know about it, because if I did, I could totally do it. I had 2 weeks of December where I intentionally skipped them because I wanted to do something special for, you know, the 5th tournament, which didn't end up happening, but I could totally have played them and, you know, won them and had the trophy. But the referee told me that, yeah, it's just 5 wins, whatever. And now we're pretty much having to start over. Now, why I said that I have a way around it is because I promised you, Glads, to get that trophy. But I'm not going to bore you with another 4 episodes of me playing these tournaments, because I think 9 one-day tournaments is going to be a little too much to cover. But I will still play them, and I'll play them back to back to get that trophy as quickly as possible. I know it might tire my body out, but you know, I can't break a promise I made to you, Glads. As of right now, we do have the medal, and this isn't actually the one that I won on that day, because I actually lost the 5th medal. I can't find it, no joke. But anyways, that's not the point. Right now we only have the medal, but don't worry, I will get this trophy. And all I want from you, Glads, is to stick with me for the rest of this journey, because it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm sure you, Glads, will enjoy it a lot, and it's gonna be a hell of a lot easier for me to complete the journey with you guys on board. My name is Grisha. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you, Glads, in the next one. Bye bye.